Hey everybody, welcome back. We are continuing on our project. So we want to look at example agile requirements that were uncovered for this project, moving from in-house CRM to on cloud. So let's look at it. Here are some examples of epics, user stories, and acceptance criteria that may be discovered within this CRM project in Agile. So one epic is your highest level requirement, and then your user stories will be broken down from your epics, and then your acceptance criteria are the definition of done for your requirements. So let's look at one example of epic from the sales representative point of view, one of the users of the CRM system, the current CRM system. So what does this person want to do? As a user, I want to have an intuitive user interface to easily manage customer information so that I can improve my efficiency and provide better customer service. So this is the highest level. What the sales reps want to be able to do is to provide better customer service. But in order for them to do that, they need the CRM interface to be intuitive, to be easy to use, user-friendly, and efficient. So from your epic, you can break down so many user stories from it. So one thing that I want to be able to do as a sales rep, the reason why I want the system to be intuitive and user-friendly is so that I can search for customers easily and user-friendly. So as business analyst, you're asking why. You can apply the 5 whys here to say, why do you want it to be intuitive? What's happening? What happens to the current system? Is the current system not intuitive? What do you mean by intuitive? How intuitive would you like it to be? What are your tasks? What are the things that you're performing on the system currently that doesn't feel user-friendly and intuitive for you, or that doesn't feel like you're easily managing your customer information? These are sort of questions you're asking as business analyst to further uncover and break down your epics into user stories. So one user story here is that the sales rep want to be able to search for customers by name or by email address so that they can quickly find and access the customer information. So for instance, maybe one of the process is that customer will get in touch with the sales representative to ask certain questions, or to be able to access their information. And in order for the sales representative to be able to answer the customer query, they need to find the current data held in the CRM about the customer so that they can then serve the customer with regards to the inquiries or the requirement that the customer needs. Now, one acceptance criteria here, the acceptance criteria is, which is the list or the steps that the user will follow in order to search for the name, search for the email, or search for the address, is they want the customer functionality to be prominently displayed on the homepage of the CRM system. So I want to be able to just go on CRM system, click on customer, and then I should just easily see the functionality on the homepage, that I can just click a button. And then once I click that button, I should be able to search for the customer using either their name or their email address. And then thirdly, when I do that and maybe click another button, the search result will be displayed in a clear and organized way with the key customer information that I'm trying to access easily visible. Let's look at another epic. Another epic is from the marketing team member perspective. As a marketing team member, I want to be able to create targeted marketing campaigns. Is marketing. I want to create marketing campaigns based on customer data so that I can improve the effectiveness of our marketing efforts. The user story here, which breaks down further our marketing campaign requirement, is that I want to be able to view and analyze the customer data, such as demographics, purchase history. Why do I want to be able to do this? So that I can create the targeted marketing campaign, so I can target my marketing campaigns based on the customer data and demographics. The acceptance criteria for here is that the CRM, right, when you're capturing or documenting your acceptance criteria, it's not necessarily the stakeholder that is providing it. Generally, the stakeholder will just provide you their user story. This is what I want. and it's now up to you, based on the knowledge that you have of the system, to then go and uncover the steps. However, in your process mapping and all that, you would uncover those as well, so you know what the steps are. But because your acceptance criteria is capturing the to be process, so you know what the system should be able to do based on the requirements, really. So you want to really highlight that definition of done, what will qualify that you have met the user story. This is what acceptance criteria looks at. Okay, so what are the steps here? The CRM system should include a dashboard that displays key customer data. We want a dashboard. There should be a dashboard that displays these details. And then from this dashboard, we want the marketing team to easily filter and sort the customer data to identify target groups. Another acceptance criteria, the CRM system allows the marketing team to create and execute targeted marketing campaigns based on the customer data. So I've written our acceptance criteria in list format, but I don't know if you've seen a previous video about writing user stories, acceptance criteria and epics in Jira. I have that video. I'll link it in description so that you can go and see how we represent this in the sprint backlog, in the product backlog. You see how it looks from a different project perspective. But for the purpose of our project, I've literally just created this on Word documents. So there's another method of writing your acceptance criteria, which is known as the BDD, behavior driven development. It's written from the behavior of the system or of the user, and it's written in the format given, when, then, right? This is an entire new topic we can cover, but I have an existing video. Please go and watch it. Okay, I'll give a final example epic from the IT administrator perspective. Through your business analysis approach, you've identified your stakeholders, you've identified their level of power and interest on the project, you've identified their requirements, you've created your stakeholder requirement matrix, all those things that you've done. So when you're representing your requirements or your user stories and epics, you want to write it from the perspectives of these users so that you can continuously be able to trace these requirements, to know who wants what do they want, and why do they want it. I feel like I'm talking really fast. So another epic is that as an IT admin, which is another stakeholder, I want to ensure that the CRM system is secure and stable. This is like a non-functional requirement, so that customer data is protected and the system runs smoothly. Okay, the user story here, which breaks it down further. Now this is just one user story. You can uncover so many user stories from one epic. So the requirement is, as an IT administrator, I want to be able to set up role-based access controls, which is part of security and stability for your non-functional requirement, so that users only have access to the data and functionality they need. This is a security requirement. We don't want any random person to just access certain information, certain customer personal data. So we need to create workflows in the system so that we have the right people accessing the right information. What is our acceptance criteria? The CRM system allows the IT admin, so this is from the IT admin perspective. They want to be able to create these things, to set these things up. They want to be able to set up and manage the user roles and permissions in the system when required, because you could have new users to create, you could have new people joining the company and all that. So we need an IT admin person to be able to do all these settings in the system. And then once the user does that, once they set the user roles, these users or the user roles that have been created will then only be able to access the data and functionality that is relevant to their role. So there'll possibly be something in the system where certain users will have visibility of, certain users won't have visibility of, just to control that access of data. And finally, the CRM system will log the user activity and provide audit trail for security and compliance purposes. So maybe as part of the compliance business rules or compliance requirements and security requirements, we need to make sure that we know who has accessed what at what time and when, what is their role, who did what, who made any changes. So this is what we mean by audit trail. We want to be able to see who has made what activities users have performed. Even though we already have that access control in there, we also want to have traceability of who is making changes, who is viewing what, just to make sure we're following the compliance and security rules. all these examples that I've provided, they demonstrate how your user stories, how your acceptance criteria can be used to define the specific features and functionality of our CRM on cloud system. So by breaking down all your requirements into user stories and ACs, acceptance criteria, the team can really focus on delivering your definition of done, delivering those value in the small incremental steps so that it meets the needs of the organization as well as the needs of the stakeholders. Okay, so in summarizing this playlist, this is the end of our course. However, in the next couple of videos, I want to create the as-is process, the to-be process, just so that you can see that visualization, although it's not done at the delivering changes step of the BA approach, but I just want to explore this with you so that you can see an example of process mapping using BPMN. We'll explore this in another video, which kind of relates to this playlist or to this training or course that I'm sharing, but can also be independent on its own. So I won't necessarily place that part of the playlist. But anyway, in order for me to just summarize this, I hope you've really enjoyed and found value and start to understand really what we do day to day, the activities that business analyst performs in the project life cycle as well as in the business analysis approach. So we've explored this process of migrating our legacy in-house CRM system to a cloud-based system using both waterfall and agile methodologies. We followed the business analysis approach by investigating the situation, considering the stakeholder perspectives, analyzing their needs, looking at the as-is, the gap analysis, the to-be, and then evaluating various options to meet the needs, various CRM systems. We looked at that in past videos, and then we looked at defining the requirements both in agile and waterfall environment, and finally we looked at delivering the changes, the role of business analyst in each of these aspects of the BA approach. We've seen how the business analyst works closely with stakeholders, how they work closely with dev team, with product owners, depending on the methodology the project is adopting, to ensure that this system relating to our project, right, to ensure that this system meets the needs of our organization, meets the needs of our stakeholders, as well as looking at, in the agile aspect of things, how the changes are delivered incrementally over time, and what deliverables we are creating, what artifacts, what ceremonies we're engaging in. You see so many things that we do as business analysts. So in conclusion, let's say that our project was a complex undertaking that required careful planning, as well as collaboration between business analysts, between stakeholders, between development teams, both in agile and waterfall environments. We've seen how the BA approach can be adapted to different methodologies. These are all the things we've learned so far over the last 12 sections of the video or more. Different methodologies in the waterfall and agile to ensure that the project is delivered on time, in budget, have the right resources, meet the needs of the organization, meet the needs of the stakeholders. So I hope you've really found this playlist informative. I hope you found value in it, and I hope it has helped you in understanding the process of migrating from our in-house CRM onto the cloud. Yeah, that's the end. That's the end of this playlist. As much as I've uncovered the business analysis approach within waterfall and agile, there are so many other things that we do. This playlist has literally just summarized and highlighted the various aspects. I know that I haven't broken down in lower level detail. You have to do a course for this. I don't think it's something that you can really find so much value in through YouTube videos. So if you're interested in exploring further and knowing the really nitty-gritty details, looking at real examples of these artifacts, documentation, and all these things that we create as business analysts, feel free to explore the Business Analyst School membership space. Within that space, we have various courses to help you in transitioning into business analysis, whether you're a newbie, and for experienced business analysts as well, to refresh your memory, to continuously build your confidence, right? So if you're really serious about taking your career to the next level, join the Business Analyst School membership. As well as the membership, we also have a bootcamp training which we do at least three times per year. It takes about 10 weeks to complete this bootcamp training, where I teach you hands-on real life business analysis applications. If you're interested, all details are available on the businessanalystschool.com website. As always, I'm so grateful for all the support that I've received throughout the time of creating this course. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for your suggestions. Keep them coming. They inspire me to continuously create and to know that I'm adding value and helping you in your business analysis career. As always, please don't forget to like, subscribe, share this content, share this playlist. You never know who it might help: beginners, transitioning, as well as experienced business analysts. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next one. Peace.